morning and welcome back to North Dakota Today. Golfing season is in full swing and Cameron and Kyle from Apex Physical Therapy are here to tell us how golf can affect our bodies. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
So why do golfers need to worry about injuries or why they are susceptible?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of reasons, and one of them particular in this area is our long winters, right? And so it's this activity that we get our bodies accustomed to, and then we take it away, and then we reintroduce it. And a lot of us that like golf maybe reintroduce it with heavy doses, a lot of golf, and we miss it. So that's one thing. Another reason is it's a repetitive movement, and it's a repetitive movement in a lot of different ways. One way is the swing itself. It's a one-sided movement, so we're repeating this direction of rotation all the time, and we don't ever go and swing on the other side. And our bodies love to do this back and forth. If we think of running and walking, some of the really healthy things that our bodies love, it's a reciprocating motion. We repeat it on both sides. Another thing that's repetitive is we have to bend over a lot.
Yeah.
So we're bending over. I mean, unless you have some tricky way of picking up your ball without bending over, which so I've seen some of those guys out at the golf course, they have like a little suction thing. But most of us bend over, and we bend over anywhere from 50 to 100 times to tee your ball, pick your ball up, mark your ball, pick it back up after you miss that putt, putt it again. So we bend over a lot, and there's a couple of different things that we look for. One is bending over in a back-saving way. So Kyle's going to show us the wrong way of bending over.
Yeah.
So I see this all the time when I'm at the golf course. I'll see a guy pick up their ball the wrong way, which puts a lot of stress on your back. If you do that 100 times, no matter what you're doing, whether you're golfing at home, that's going to create some repetitive stress. There's good ways of picking up the ball. Kyle's going to show us that. You can do like what we call the golfer reach, which is where you try to balance a little bit more on one leg and kick one leg back so that you can reach. You see this on TV all the time. The golfers pick up that way. That saves the back. Or if that's tough for some people to balance, then we can do maybe more of a deep squat pickup, which puts a little more stress on the legs but is a back-saving way. So there's a couple of tips.
Wonderful. I love those demonstrations. That golf swing, I have to say, looks a little bit better than mine.
Thank you.
And better than mine too.
Yes. So what are some common injuries that you see with golfers?
Yeah, some of the common injuries we see throughout the body, usually at the elbow, low back, hip and knee. The elbow, with the repetitive nature of the swing that Cam touched on, tendinitis or tendinopathies we'll see at the elbow. Even the inside of our elbow, on our trail arm, it's referred to as golfer's elbow, just because of that repetitive nature. The overuse causing those tendinitis or tendinopathies at that area. Low back, like we said, to save that from bending so much throughout the day. Sometimes disc injuries or muscle strains in that lumbar lower spine can throw you through the roof sometimes, so we need to prevent those. And then your joint pains at the hip and knee, very common.
Absolutely. So you gave us a little demonstration of things you can do to prevent these injuries. Are there anything else?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Go ahead.
Just a good warm-up. I think if you're like myself, I show up the last minute for my tee time, rushing on my car, glad and running through the parking lot. Super important to get a good warm-up in. Get the blood flow to those muscles, get them ready for that repetitive, forceful movement, which the golf swing really is. Prioritizing that over going to hit range balls or putting on the putting green is super important.
Absolutely. So how can physical therapy help with preventing injuries?
Well, we're the movement experts, and so we will look at the movement and do you have the available range. So you want to show the golf swing again? He's got to have a lot of mobility in his trunk, his spine, his shoulder, his hips. So we would be able to identify, okay, you have some impairments there. You have some limitations that's not allowing you to get to where you need to get to for your golf swing. And usually when we have those limitations, we don't know them, but we compensate to achieve what we want to do, which is hit that ball. And you do that compensation over and over again. That's where it leads to injuries. The other thing is we look at the body and we try to create balance both in mobility and in strength. And so being the movement experts, we have to have both mobility and strength to move properly.
Definitely. Well, you guys better call them before the Roger Maris golf tournament this week. Where can people contact you guys?
They can go to our website at apexptwellness.com. We have several locations in West Fargo, South Fargo, Lemoore, and Jamestown. the site, great way to direct you to the location that you need to get to.
Well, thank you guys so much for that information.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up on today's show, tomorrow is the National Day of Yoga, and Mojo Fit Studios, is it Mojo or Mojo? Mojo? Mojo Fit Studios has a fun event that you won't want to miss after the break.